Good afternoon, my friends. Daniel Miller here. How's everybody doing? I welcome you all to our Guardian Games, our Destiny World, and my channel. Today in London suburbs we have a truly English weather. It's very wet and drizzly for the first time in more than 6 weeks, and this sort of weather is actually really appreciated at the moment, considering we all have to be living in a complete kind of social isolation and full lockdown everywhere. As you know, where you have really beautiful sunny day with warm air coming from everywhere, and our local parks really being nicely illuminated. Well, that is the kind of weather that is drawing people out, and this is not what we want to see. So actually, thank you to the Lord for providing us with some rain finally after that many weeks, when in fact He would have given us a necessary respite already at the beginning of this dreadful pandemic. As we've seen, the pandemic is subsiding somewhat. We've reached a plateau in many areas of the country, and we are doing a very, very good job in Britain by staying indoors. 95% of the people are doing exactly that. It's 5% who are still thinking that they're not going to catch the virus, that it's alright to be milling around and mingling with their friends and relatives. And I want to tell you something. Don't do that. You're risking your own life and the lives of your loved ones. And in fact, you perhaps may be risking the lives of your children. We've seen reports yesterday publicly declared at the press conference, and even more so today. I think there is going to be a considerable attention given to it at 5 o'clock, that a very deadly, a very dangerous type of infection had sprung up during the last week in Britain amongst children younger than 6, and children who actually catch that dreadful infection will have to go to intensive care units straight away because there is imminent danger to life. And it did transpire that the scientists in Italy and Spain also observed an increase of that sort of Kawasaki syndrome style infection appearing amongst the children in their own countries, and also in the numbers which were much higher to what was usually experienced. So it is indeed very worrying to hear that the virus might have taken a new route with a different strain that's even affecting children in a way which indeed has been not medically and scientifically defined until now. So really we all have to remain as vigilant as possible. The new data will come up and we'll get to know a lot more as we carry on. I think we'll probably be given a lot more information today at 5 o'clock, but I just want to say to all of our compatriot citizens, everyone here on the British Isles as well as everyone around the world, do not underestimate the deadly power of the virus. The virus is extremely dangerous. It is attacking people in a way which is as yet unknown. We do not know as to why people are suffering severe symptoms and indeed ending up in intensive care units, and in some cases passing away, compared to others who are having very mild, light symptoms. We'll get to that point eventually with all the tests and analysis and all the scientists working 24/7, but as yet we still do not know. And in Britain today we've had a truly somber 1 minute silence at 11 o'clock, which was dedicated to everyone who died within the care profession and the NHS. NHS is our National Health Service. We know that more than 100 professionals, inclusive of doctors, nurses and medical staff, sadly had passed away due to this absolutely ghastly, dreadful virus. And that is a heartbreaking awareness that those people who are fighting it on the front line were unfortunately getting the virus and then were indeed taken away from us so early, so prematurely. It is truly dreadful. So as a sign of respect towards those who passed away, and as well as a sign of gratitude for all of those heroic duties and works that people in the NHS are providing, we really need to stick to the rules. Now is the time to stay at home 24/7, to build your nuclear shelter mindset and live through it as long as necessary. We are not going to be relaxing the measures or moving away from what we find presently for many, many weeks and maybe months. So do not be mistaken. You could see that in Europe they've tried to relax the measures. Germany today declared that the infection RO rate has gone well above 1, which is the level that causes pandemic. They worked really hard to contain it. They've done many tests and had the capacity to test the vast majority of people in the health sector, local community, and they managed to contain the virus. But because they relaxed the measures quite early and they thought that it was the right time and right thing to do, the number of infected people had suddenly risen within last week, and we've had reports that the schools had to close because the families of some children were affected. And certainly there is simply no any other way around to this. Before we find a vaccine, we are all going to be at standstill, and people have to accept this. So please consider the lives, every one of those lives lost so far in every country, but obviously with us in Britain in particular, and remember that those doctors and nurses gave their lives in order to fight the disease, and just show respect, stick to that nuclear shelter mentality, stay indoors, stay at home, protect the NHS and save lives, and then be a hero. Remember that, this is absolutely fundamental. So, as I said, it's a rainy, drizzly weather outside, and the best possible kind of environment for us to be fully indoors and indeed enjoying our online gaming community. As you know, we've been doing Guardian games already since last Tuesday, so it's coming to its first week of entertainment. And I have to say that I'm in two minds about it. Initially, I really liked Guardian games, and I was very much in favor of this Olympic-style activity with all the characters and everyone. But as I've done it for quite a bit, first of all, I have to report that there are many technical issues attached to the activity. Frequently, if you're doing the Crucible, you're not getting any laurels, or you get to certain maps and there's nothing going on which is Guardian events related, Guardian games I should say. On the other hand, you go to some maps, you collect an enormous amount of laurels that do not register. And that's been reported already early last week by some of the staff writers in online hubs and magazines, and I didn't really experience it that early, but certainly it is persisting now with our service, the service we're accessing from the UK. On the other hand, the rewards we are getting are very pedestrian and mundane. It does feel like just yet another activity with a longer grind for literally nothing. So that really is a serious thumbs down. On the other hand, the number of participants had been increased due to Guardian Games. Lots of people joined forces because they really wanted to obviously try it out, and it is competitive, and you have some fierce activity in Gambit and Crucible in particular. Lots of good teams and veterans coming back in to try their luck, which indeed is very good. And so there are pros and cons, and I think generally it is not an activity that you would be grinding for months. You will do it maybe for a couple of weeks, and in order to kind of connect with other veterans from around the world who are also doing them, and then you'll give it a miss because frankly you're not getting anything much. I think at the end of it all, if you collected many medals, you'll get a pinnacle weapon which is like a top-notch machine gun, but that altogether seems a bit lame, really, considering the lengthy grinds, and the lengthy grinds are particularly arduous in PvP. If you're collecting laurels or needing to really complete certain bounties with special skills, you'll know that some skills are perhaps not as good or as effective in there, and takes time and effort. On the other hand, as a rehearsal or an exercise for people to master the use of certain weapons and skills, it's quite good, because if you are to be completing a bounty, for instance, with solar grenades, 5 solar grenade kills, let's say within PvP, then you really have to be learning how to use those properly, provided that the servers are working properly and that you're on the fastest possible internet, because otherwise you will not be getting your scores. And we've seen the matchmaking in the Crucible has been extremely poor, and we've had people banged up together who were both the top-notch players on the fastest possible fiber, with those who were lagging seriously and just joining Destiny, and that's just completely unacceptable. You really can tell the difference, because if you are an experienced PvP gamer, you'll know straight away amongst the players who's lagging. And then you have a laggy player who gets killed by one bullet, and then you have a person on fast fiber who requires the whole magazine of Cerberus and they still live. So it's that sort of thing which indeed is never appreciated in PvP. So I think a good day today for us to crack on with a bit more. I think today we'll be looking at Gambit primarily, because Gambit is PvP activity that I collected medals for. I'm not sure whether these were daily or weekly. We'll find out very shortly when we get in there. But yesterday I was doing the Crucible, and quite frankly, nothing in it really worked as far as the Guardian games were concerned. No laurels if collected that didn't register. So I spent like a few hours doing the PvP activity with no benefits whatsoever, and that was very, very disappointing. But it would have been a glitch, and we all have to be perfectly understanding towards the times we're living in, because as you could see, the times are very, very difficult. It's an unprecedented type of situation for everyone. That includes people who man the servers, people who do the maintenance, and evidently Bungie and all the other developers will not have many enough people to do the regular maintenance, and that's really what's causing the problem. Lengthy kind of matchmaking waits, infinite loads, and all sorts of other issues which are present. That's all fine. We all understand that these are very difficult times. We are grateful that the services are operating, because obviously Bungie could have gone home, switched everything off, and we would have had no Destiny for months on end. And some people are risking their lives by staying there at workplace in order to provide such services, and they've got to be both given a degree of gratitude, and they need to be greatly appreciated, and certainly appreciate all of them at all times, because I do not have to be going anywhere from my quarantine, the quarantine day number 41 of mine, and it is a truly unusual type of experience to be indoors for 41 days. I feel like I'm in solitary confinement. Basically, I've not seen a living soul during the period, and not had any face-to-face contact with anyone anywhere. And that is obviously I had a lot of contact through online apps like WhatsApp and Skype and everything else. But the fact of the matter is, I can feel I've not seen any sunshine for 41 days. I can see and feel it on my skin. My overall kind of sense of well-being physically has not been terribly affected. I exercise every day. I go out at night, in the middle of the night, just to my local nature reserve very, very briefly to stretch my legs, and I adhere to the same sort of indoors routine that I otherwise would. It's just that in this instance it is massively prolonged and it's all based on non-activity. Basically, I don't go anywhere, and usually I would incorporate a lot of walking and outdoors to my day-to-day routine, albeit fairly local generally, and that's missing. But there isn't any other way around, I'm afraid. When you hear the stories of children now developing these infections, it's absolutely heartbreaking, because this is a very, very rare disease, Kawasaki disease, and they observe the symptoms which are similar, and they're all quite they're absolutely certain it is COVID-19 related one way or the other. And I just really want to make sure that nobody is a kind of asymptomatic carrier of the virus. So if people are fully grounded, living in full imposed quarantine, then there's no chance for the virus to be traveling, and that is the best, the most valuable method we have, the method that worked for centuries, where there were other deadly diseases breaking out, and it's well known that with the prevention of the transmission, the viruses and the illnesses will be subsiding greatly, and then the vaccine or the medication eventually will be found. Obviously today we have very, very advanced medical science, and in no doubt that they'll find a way forward, at least to prevent instant death. That's number one, and particularly for people who develop very, very severe symptoms. So that would be the very, very major step forward, because people can actually survive then the serious infections that take place, or indeed prevent them once the vaccine is fully developed. So let's just pray for our scientists and doctors. Let's pray for the results and for everything that is currently being done. We've seen and heard that our Jenner Institute in Oxford is the world leader in vaccine, and they've already been testing on humans. 2 vaccines, in fact. One is with the strain of coronavirus, the other is a vaccine used for meningitis. Obviously, the number of people who were given the vaccine is rising every single day, so we are very, very hopeful and looking forward to see what the results are going to be in 3 to 6 months, and hopefully everything will be as expected, because apparently one of the vaccines worked 100% with animals, and that is indeed a very, very good result, because the virus is, although completely new, belonging to a strain of viruses which were known to the medical science. So it's not like a virus that is completely unrelated to anything else ever seen, but it's a new strain of that virus that is causing all the problems, and I think that needs to be understood. So in terms of the actual vaccine or medical science, it is easier to be, digging your heels in when you know the basics or the roots or the foundation of the problem, compared to where you are literally facing everything that is unknown. And so that's really very good. We need to applaud our scientists. We need to show our gratitude, appreciation and support to all they're doing, and certainly we need to keep in our thoughts and prayers for the very, very best results. So we are going to crack on now with Guardian Games Warlock Human Male 970 DRBMiller it is. The first thing we'll do is basically look at the admin, sort out our kit, and after that we'll do some bounty collections. We'll need to collect some bounties from Ava, also some medals. In fact, whilst we are traveling, I'll have a look at the medals that we presently have. Curious to see what these are. We do have some bounties from yesterday, so that's alright. We've got plenty of those to complete. And then we have quests from seasons. Gambit stayed with us, as well as the destination, so that's fine. We'll go to Gambit, I think, or maybe we'll just do one. We'll do one Crucible, a couple of Crucible matches, just, and then we'll go to Gambit. Gambit's going to be our bread and butter in the day, as Gambit is first of all fierce, lots of enemies in there, so it's quite easy to collect lots of different things which are red, and it's one of the best activities to complete the bounties, even obviously Gambit related, because you'll see that summons are not asking you to go to raid strikes, but they really want you to be doing different types of works at destinations. So it could be on different planets, could be patrols, could be escalation protocol, but based on any quests, like story missions and any other that you may pick up. Therefore, you need to choose activities carefully, because Guardian Games activities do not apply to every single activity in Destiny. The vast majority is either PvP or PvP vs PvE, and Gambit certainly, I think, is the best activity for the collection of some of those goodies. We have our friend Postmaster here.
Hi there.
Helmet 965. Let me see whether do we have any other than 260, 360. Yes, we definitely are going to be up, because we want to increase the level of our helmet. Quickly sort these out as well. 963, 63. Because when they introduced Shadowkeep, it felt like the progression towards the upper light was very, very fast. And I think they've toned this down a bit, so it's taking a bit longer to collect high quality. I think that's definitely getting new people coming in. They still need to do everything. Otherwise, it feels like a race. And I remember getting 150 or 200 levels in notes. They seem to be particularly well, not for my liking. Basically, I think there needs to be hard work in here. The rewards. That's the bottom line with any activities. 964. Okay, so that's all out. We need that helmet. That's what we picked. I think we're going to be if we have modules with us, which is something that we were lacking yesterday. So probably, yeah, nothing. It's funny because I'm not really getting any enhancers either. Let me see. Think faster pickup, maybe. We have grenade. Okay. Not enough space. I wanted to double check the medals. I'm curious. See whether there's anything we can get rid of. Okay, there's plenty of these for Gambit. Okay, so let me see. Okay, energy weapon we'll get rid of, we don't want any of that. And then that one, cannon. That's really very seriously doubt that my melee will be giving any results, and I can get rid of that one as well. Okay, so now we go back to Ava. Pick Crucible, Crucible Gambit, Crucible Bronze, okay, acquire.
Wonderful.
Crucible Silver, Crucible Gold. That strikes. Don't know, have enough space in there now.
It's right.
Can pick up the rest probably later. Quickly see if there's anything else I can get rid of in there. To go there to collect this. Yes. Won't be able to do everything. All three lots of activities. I mean, there is a there is a chance, but depends on how quickly this. I'm not going to bother with, but you know, a chance. We can always come pick up the other two.
Welcome.
So we picked up invigoration mod as well. Okay, 967 sidearm, last hope. Outrageous fortune. I guess that's all sorted out. Need to have a look at the bounties to see what subclass special I need.
You don't look too banged up.
Okay, so I think we need to purchase this. Okay. Well, those are quite different yet. They did this in the space for this, and who else wants to talk to us? I do not think so.
Tell them they want better fighters on the they need to give me time.
I see, I need to collect my reward. Okay. Which is what I will do. But quite frankly, we'll do.
Task list
I like that, you know, the work expanded. Everything is great. More beautiful. Illuminated compared to rewards! Hero. You may be wondering what this was all for. Sometimes a friend ignorance is bliss. Here is some weapon hazard of the cast 18, so I'm thinking we will have a few rewards now. Fight activity in games. So gone up the ladder, so we should have another reward faster color. The reward is that, so I think we've probably to go and what's his name? Master Rahul. Tess. Okay. Then crack on with the Crucible. Crucible and Gambit. It is going to be today. Maybe some strikes if we have enough time, but I really doubt it because the lengthy grinds will take a little while. Off to test, and after that, racing to our
We must have found something
fears. It is going to be. We've seen yesterday with all the participants. Kill the cryptic engrams. Got some ball and a shade. But please. Very useful with activities if you have like on the moon. You got to be racing from destination to another because it and then it'll be very useful. Look at this. It's pretty good. All those ships coming in. Alright, so yeah. Looked at the beautiful landscape, gathered our thoughts, and now we are proceeding to our first big match in the Crucible. Control this is going to be. Come on. There we are, the Crucible. Control. Off. We're off to our first match in the Crucible, and this is going to be literally yet again part of our Guardian games. We have, as you've seen earlier, 3 medals. Crucible related. We have Crucible Gold, Opposing Guardians, Laurels, and then we have also defeat Opposing Guardians in the Crucible. This is a bit strange. Guardians 10, Guardians 50. Oh, I see, so that's just the degree of engagement in there. Widow's Court. There we are. It's drizzling outside, proper rain, proper English weather. Finally. We've been asking for it for 6 weeks. Chucking it, as we'd say here in England. Or cats and dogs if you are a Londoner. Well, well, there we are.
Take ground. Hold the zones.
Hold the zones.
Enemy claimed zone. Zone C captured. You're in the lead. Capture Zone B. You.
Wait.
advance.
Okay. It's active all the most important running from one to another and looking at the radar.
Zone B lost.
To see the enemies coming.
Captured Zone A. Have advantage.
Captured it, so that's good. He was.
Zone A lost.
We lost this one.
Zone C lost. For play. Get those zones back. You can be.
To race to that zone C.
Captured. This is yours.
Hmm.
Zone B lost.
Rise again, you
Took the lead.
fine UK-based player here in Crucible. I've been asking for it for quite some time.
Zone C
Avid
captured.
fan.
You advance. Zone A lost.
Avid. I got the other guy. The other team's pretty good.
Them down. Zone B captured. Zone
Avid
advantage
fan
is
again.
yours.
Well, I got him, but apparently not. Okay.
Gain.
Kindly judge break. Kindly.
Zone B lost. Zone captured. Zone B lost. You captured Zone A. You have
This
zone.
is a play contested, let's face the fact. This is ridiculous. For some reason, grenade and then weapon on fire. And he on
Zone
because
A
I had it in sights. And what? Everything prepared
Zone B,
for him.
you have
But look at it.
Zone C.
Look, we agree.
It is lost. Battle
Yes.
close.
Battle is very close. Listen, my friends. Super is deadly.
advantage is
Good. That grenade got. For some reason, my
time to fight.
it's having the recoil. And got several. Oh, we got UK. Well, this is a surprise. Very pleasant. Oh, he's undoing. Almost certainly. Still there. Try my weapon massively
G
prevented.
captured. Zone advantage yours.
So, there are some really good the arena. It's a really good map.
No zone.
Apology. That is.
Zone advantage
I'm doing some
lost. Power play.
curious against it because
Has
they'll
gate. Zone B.
yeah, we are losing.
3 minutes remain.
We'll be able to catch up. They do have players in.
Zone captured. Zone. Captured zone C. Have a
Don't know. They're not bothered because
fight. They're
ah. No, you can catch up.
You captured zone.
Certainly, very good map. Looks like he was chasing me.
A minute left. Zone B.
Triple kill.
You captured C. Have a. You've got seconds.
Oh, he got a win.
Zone C. 10 seconds.
Ah, we lost. But my map.
You're defeated. Again. Pacific.
Tangleweb Hood. That's not too bad, really. This was
Got to hold. Maybe next time.
11 zones I captured. That was pretty good. Stay in. Look forward to the rest. Alright, let's see what our next match is going to bring us, but equally we'll just have a look at the quests, bounties. So what happened to all the other bounties? That's ridiculous. Did you not see? All of my bounties disappeared. That's mad. That's mad, honestly. 6 of them disappeared. Go back then to collect medal redeemed. Okay. The burnout.
Control. Show me you can take ground. Hold the zones.
Maurizio, yet again we got Peter
Falling
Luna.
behind.
Look like the same team stayed in.
Enemy claimed zone B. You captured C.
These are not capturing zone.
Enemy claimed Zone C lost. Me has a power play.
On I want.
Captured Zone B.
War Child. Okay.
Zone C, zone
that's good.
advantage. You captured zone power play. Now hope he lost. Zone captured. You.
My weapon jamming. I hate your weapon. It does that. The weapon does it properly. Carlo. Dread.
Zone A. Captured. You.
Oh, you didn't see me.
You're in
Didn't see me.
Zone C lost. Zone advantage.
That was unlucky. Oh. That was good. You know.
Zone A lost. A captured. Zone advantage.
Super.
Zone B lost. Zone C captured. Have zone advantage. 2 for 1.
2 for... Bit silly. Picture this.
5 minutes. Zone B captured. Zone is yours. Advantage grows.
Well, that's good.
You capture C.
Okay.
You now hold.
Oh, he was there. Well, that was clever.
Zone C locked. You capture. You have zone. Zone. You captured zone at fours. Good. Zone C.
Grenade launch.
You have zone advantage. Minutes. C lost. Lost. You cap B.
Tightly contested.
Captured. Zone yours. You captured A. Power play. Pressure on. Lost.
Oh yeah.
Lost. Zone A enemy has C. E captured. Advance. Zone C.
Could be my Nova. Just a bit too poor.
Zone A can have zone advantage. One.
I did not die this way. Which is good. Leaning it. Lee?
Captured. That's up. You took. Now. For a better victory.
Not bad. Not bad. Let's see. One. Right.
Impressive. You could give the red lesson in territory control.
That's good. 9 captured zones, 11 opponents. Quite good. Considering that there were really some absolutely top-notch players in there. Actually, we need to go to Ava, collect the bounties because we are low on bounties and we don't want to be doing an empty run. So I guess I must have defeated about 22, 23 enemies. Let's see. Okay, this one's been completed. And that is a cannon. We can try that as well. Crucible gold, 22 out of 50. Crucible silver, crucible gold, 56. Oh, I got 56 laurels. How many did I defeat? 22. Yeah, that's okay. So we go back to Ava. A bit annoyed that all those bounties disappeared. There might be a reset, like for the daily bounties. It's a possibility. Didn't give it enough thought. So we are going back now to collect some badges and back to the Crucible. As quickly as we want to squeeze in many matches, as many as possible.
We've returned to the moon at last. Now
Bear with me, I'm just receiving some messages, so just what's happening. Right, so we are going to collect some of these from A.
Special for you. Wonderful. Beautiful. Oh yes, this is exactly what I'm thinking.
I'll get everything up. And deposit idle in here. Alright, so let's see what we picked up. rubbishy reward yet again. I really don't like the rewards we're getting for those medals. You'd think that at least purple would be acquired, but
Don't worry too much about winning.
65, 65.
Has changed so much.
Okay, 63. 65. Weaponry! So that's 64. The cast.
Gods lately?
It's not really all that much, just one notch up. Bothered. 67, 65. 67. Win. In the game, of course. Winning X everyone, I really absolute. But I can't really afford spending funds for the game. I'm waiting for a drop at some point in my freebie. Very, very immersive strategy game. Take-Two, interactive. I really pleasantly surprised. Didn't know what to expect, but truly loved it. Really, really interesting. Quests we need to.
Talk to me, Guardian. Rumor has it all hell has broken loose.
Rumor has it all hell has broken. Okay. Map. Destinations. Back to the Crucible. We need to complete those medals. And then we'll go off to after that we'll be off to Gambit. So let's have a look. Just can't believe how quiet my channel had become. It used to be such a busy channel, and with Destiny streams we had so many people coming in and popping in. But this was for Destiny 1, and for Destiny 2 we had fewer people coming in, so I probably need to start or restart streaming Destiny 1 again to see whether we are going to have the same sort of response. In fact, I want to see what the score is there with Destiny 1. I don't see it there. Oh, there it is. 37 viewers. Looks like there are about 30 or 40 people streaming. Okay. Waiting for control and matchmaking to provide us with another room in there. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Let me just see whether we are collecting laurels, because yesterday the laurels were not collected in the Crucible. Bounties, gold. Laurels 56. Okay. So we're collecting at least some. 22. The last match didn't register. The last match didn't register either on my medal, which is the Crucible Gold medal, or on the silver one. It's exactly the same score. So as you can see, it's faulty. Well, we've had this problem throughout the week. Some matches register, some don't. With some of the matches you don't get any laurels. Some maps give you laurels and then they don't register, so I don't know what the idea is and as to why that's happening. No idea. But it's plagued by a number of technical problems for certain. So let's hope that these maps or the matches that are to follow will register properly compared to the last, because the last didn't register. And that really was reported by some of the staff writers of several magazines, online gaming magazines that is. Last week they said we were doing it again and again, hammering a particular activity, and then we got nothing in the end. He said I was doing the laurels, and then the medal was indicating it was like collected. But to be fair, I need to see what my bounties require. Let me see. Come on, bounties. Arc, solar, arc, melee
Control.
abilities. The materials, stone core. Okay, so I have 2 bounties with void abilities. Well, let's see. We'll change it to
Guardian. Victory
the other.
demands it. Enemy chud. B. Zone C.
Needs pulse.
Zone B lost. It's a power play. Get those zones back.
It's, I think,
Zone A.
we're losing value.
So, your enemy. You captain.
This looks like a mercy. Flag was phenomenally great. He just threw a bullet in there. No lawyer.
You capture. You have advantage.
This is enough. Should have been done. Pulling away the nuts. See? And the reason for that, the internet connection.
Shut the enemy down.
Oh, it's with that grenade that killed him. King goodness.
The enemy has gained, but it's not. Zones. Your capture.
Well, that pains me when I see that Zenith is quite good. Well, some K do have fiber, unlike me.
So, it's a power. Get those zones back.
That's surprise. Otherwise, against it is the other.
You capture C.
I have myself everywhere.
Enemy has your zone A cap. You have
All
zone
3 of
advantage. Zone B. Zone
How about
advantage.
that?
A lost.
We are not position. Launch because of this silly lag time I had, and it just wouldn't. It's about 1 second comes there. 7.
Power.
Well done. Dominated, but Hudson you can see. Feet. Ah, playing like this. Just I bet. Leap.
Lost.
Good.
Those are
Thank you. Any toss French, but usually with the Italians, maybe 2-second lag. Just one guy. His dream. He wasn't his. Sweet here.
Zone A captured.
I don't believe they get me. Uses weapons so fast. Well, that wasn't a particularly good match. We need to get out of that crew. Didn't work. Or maybe not, we'll just leave it. Let me see what I'm getting here with my medals, my scores. Bounties, not. Void grenades. 10 even, that's gonna take a while, and melee. 34 out of 50. 62 out of 150. Okay, I did collect some laurels, but not that many. Plenty of medals in there. Plenty of medals. Bring it on. Let's just crack on with the match.
Lost. The battle is still close.
No, no, no. We do not want to be doing somebody else's game. Out of here immediately.
Zone C lost. Your enemy.
Matchmaking. Look at that. But it's interesting, I'm just reading an article on Forbes indicating that bounties that Ava's giving are generally glitched, and they're offering you really tricky activities and yet you're getting no proper rewards. And I agree with them, really. It does seem that the bounties there are... I mean, if they're asking you to use some really, you know, skills and to get into tricky situations, then you should be given proper rewards, and the rewards are just literally complete a pedestrian. But he's asking, in fact he's saying that the best thing to do is to complete 7 out of 11 triumphs for the event, and then you will get your pinnacle weapon. I don't know, we'll just go along with whatever is there. I'm not really fussed, but he's offering some tips, you know, how to do shortcuts, which is always the case with some gamers, but we are not here. We are not in the business of shortcuts. Rusty hands.
Control. I know you can fight, but can you hold territory? Zone C cap. Zone A. Zone you own advance. Zone
It's fast.
captured. Zone
Which is pretty good. Rising.
you B.
Hit me from behind.
Fight.
The medal C migrate to Gambit because. Where is the other? What did this in the internet?
Capture. Advantage.
Sorry, can
B.
well, the guys putting us stiff, and that's the fact. Okay.
Capture. Power play. Now. Zone C.
Hey, he got me. There's no chance that he could have hurt me. Part is one where you were within the last 2 seconds.
Have an
Change. Light. Fast.
zones. Now hold. On. Shit.
Still.
Keep it up.
This is a bit for me. looks like a visible victory for us.
B lost. Zone B. D. The enemy. Winning. Stay strong. One. I love it.
Prize missing there.
Zone C.
The game,
You have zone advantage.
guys, but it's not.
A victory.
Okay. What goes there? Some leg armor, I should say. 151, some. Yeah, there were top players in our team, as you could see. 2 of them, almost 60, well, 55 plus something in between them, so that's pretty good. They didn't really controls that much. Okay, let's see what the next match is going to be like. I'm going up the ladder, but this is a lengthy grind. Okay, so that's nearly there. Crucible gold 50. Crucible silver 85. Okay. Yeah, what's annoying is that these laurels are not really registering properly in some of these maps. That's the trouble. Getting them sometimes, but at other times they're not operating. The trouble is that you either don't get them, or if you get them, they don't register. So it's a no-win situation. It does look like we are being brought to another team. What I don't want is being slotted into somebody else's game, which is exactly what's going to be happening now, by the looks of it. Matchmaking doesn't seem to work properly. We had it already 3 times today that we slotted to someone else's game, and Crucible is all about other people coming in and doing it from the beginning. It's not like being slotted into somebody else's match which is just about to finish. Alright, let's carry on. Let's see what is before us.
Zone A captured. Zone B lost.
Just like I thought. Just like I thought. So definitely not something I
Zone
want
A
to do.
lost. Control.
Alright, let's see. Another match. Keep ending doing this Crucible all the time, but I really should do Gambit and maybe some other activities to keep a bit diverse. I mean, it's enjoyable, as it is. But it does seem to me that they're favouring PvP with those medals. And Gambit, of course, there's a lot of activity related to it.
The zones are yours if you fight for them, Guardian.
Guns are yours if you fight for them.
Zone C captured. Enemy claimed Zone A. Claimed Zone B. They just took the lead. Gained the lead. B captured.
See,
You have
didn't see him there. Mind you, there are certain weapons and pieces it's really hard to remember. John didn't suffer damage. Just
lost. A cap advantage.
oh, we're good in here. We are doing good in here. Gone. Just
Zone lost. C lost. Captured zone is yours. B power play. Zone A lost. Battle.
well, it's annoying. Is
C lost. Zone you have zone.
a leap in and the lag really from mine compared to. Should have used my.
Lost.
Not
Zone
3.
advantage.
That's the lead character last.
That down.
3 of them. That's good.
Zone lost. Captured 2 minutes left.
Taking that in there.
Zone C lost. Zone advantage.
You've basically allowed. So annoying, and this is happens in PvP match for me. So that's the internet connection. Can you believe that? Cabinet. See, I window, and it says money, and I say fiber optic connection here. We don't have it. Pains me out. Took forever.
Lost.
I had the chance my one is available store in London. Then you can see the possible. So
C lost. C cap. You have advantage.
he's gonna be coming in here. Well, that was clever, really. Fist was
Zone C
not
captured.
enough time to hit him to look for.
Zone lost.
Sadly, it wasn't. He has eliminate.
C 1 minute.
He was the one. Alright, we let's see. 150.89. So that's it's a big defeat. It's 23 and 4 captured. Okay, hang on. Okay. 23 and 4. Capsule, yeah, he captured 8. Alright, fair enough. Sometimes you have more capture zones, control zones I should say, at other times you have more on the opponents. So quests. One of the medals must be completed. Gold Crucible. Yeah. Where's the other one? Silver. Just a minute. Should be another one there. Crucible Silver. Oh no, we already deposited that one. Points 115. Crucible Gold. Okay, so let's just complete that one. Alright, bear with me. I'll be back literally in a second. I guess what's quite good is that the medals could be collected within one session, all 3 of them. So you could see 3 medals today were Crucible related, and I was able to complete 2. I think the 3rd one will be done also fairly fast, as the laurels fortunately on some of the maps are indeed getting registered compared to what we had yesterday, but no laurels registered. Just quickly see, I'm quite certain that the bounties are still doing nothing. That's most likely. Yeah, one of them. Oh. 4 out of 10. Well, I think the bounties are easily, well, I won't say easily, but acquired with greater speed in Gambit, because it's more for relentless activity, got many more enemies attacking, and then there's a chance. But in fact, from the developer's point of view, I think this is quite well construed, because you have obviously that degree of choice. You can do Gambit or Crucible depending on your preference, and Crucible will take you a bit longer, be a lengthier grind, and with Gambit you may not be winning all the matches, but you'll get your laurels and points and all that is to be acquired in there. Whilst we're waiting, we can very quickly glimpse at our triumphs and collections if anything requires our attention. Oh yeah, there's something in the Crucible. Not a lot. Multi-streak. Lights out. Rapidly defeat 4. Let's see. Well, that's amazing. I'm kind of excelling and amazing myself, right? Medals and medals and... Where are my medals? Hmm? Who knows? Conqueror. Flawless. Oh, it's triumphs. We need to do that sometime. We need to be looking at triumphs and then collecting. There's so much activity in here, it's interesting. You really forget about how vast the game is. Because I get bogged down with Gambit and Crucible frequently because there's Iron Banner and there's obviously Guardian Games now and various other activities which are PvP based, and I keep forgetting about these. And we need to do that sometime. Collections. Weapons. Sidearms. Last hope. Alrighty. Equipment. Mods. Hang on, we've just seen that there was one. Or not. Strange, I thought I've seen one of those. But you know what? We can really have a look at my character. And then we need to look at these. I've not looked at them today, I forgot. And in here we could... Oh, no unlocks available. Why? Oh, we didn't get any artifact unlocks. No idea what that is. I've not even looked at them. Come on. 65. Out of the way. 67, 65. Out of the way. 63. Oh. 66 will keep. To increase the abilities. These ones too, I think. Yeah. Mind you. Four. $68. What's this? Oh yeah, we got that Annabelle Lee vehicle. Something will happen to the trackers because we don't see anything on these. No idea. Brave. So for instance, when we look at the Crucible, I have a tracker in there. Crucible opponents defeated 831. Okay. So let me see inventory stats. Triumphs. Triumphs. Valor 2196. What does that tell us? 14 final blows. Win streak 6. Okay, win rate 53. It's like half and half. Kill to death ratio 118. Superficiency. Nothing. Gambit. Average final blows per match 100. Average miles banked. Blockers defeated. Primeval's defeated. Infamy. That's a bit strange. I defeated many more. Lost sector, public event. So that's really for the bounties and for some of the medals in there as well. Combat record. So far, 4,022 opponents have been defeated. Okay. Alright, let's try to complete this. What is it that we've got there? Hang on. Didn't double check how many points you acquired. Let's try to.
I know you can, but can you hold territory?
Hang on. Quick. 115.
Enemy claimed zone. You can be. You gained the lead.
Oh, that's annoying. Hit him from such close. Lags, obviously.
Captured. That's a power. Hold.
Well, lag.
B lost.
All depends. Tutorial on how we can go to the
Captured. That's a power.
lost it.
Lost.
See him.
Zone captured. Zone.
Leavers things thanks to the lag. Alright, tightly contested.
You captured. You advance. Zone.
Me.
Zone B. You have a. Zone A lost. You can. Zone advance. Yours. Zone A. The pressure on. Zone lost. By remain.
Where are they coming? You tell. There's no plan. I didn't see them.
Uh-oh. Zone C. Up. Zone captured.
One's not there. Use it really.
Have zone.
hours. Okay.
Power play. You're on. Zone B. Three remaining.
Shot.
Zone A.
Where's it gone? Ah.
Zone advantage. Lost.
Ooh. Left.
Have advantage.
All the other guys are really on very fiber. So yeah, probably on the
1
innings.
Zone C. Have advantage. 30 seconds. Zone A. Zone B. Well fought.
So not too bad, really. Not bad.
Targets. Nice work.
What? Oh, 7? That's really bad. That's really the worst I've had today. I thought I had at least 12 or 13. We'll see what the next match is going to bring, but that doesn't sound right to me. Well, I hope you're enjoying our Crucible matches. It's been good fun so far. And let me see, am I getting anything on my quest front? Crucible Silver. Crucible Gold. Okay. So we completed all of this. Okay, so that means we can go to Gambit. Straight away, we are off to Gambit. We have about half an hour left. Gambit. There. Well, you know the score. Depositing the modes, getting the primeval, eliminating it, or him, or her. Eliminating the monster. Excuse me. And after that, you find out whether you are the winner. 2 out of 3 is the winner. Or 2 consecutive wins, of course. And Gambit is gonna allow us to be collecting many more motes and, I mean, laurels. Also, probably it will help us to complete those bounties faster. The bounties are really hard coming in PvP, in the Crucible, unless they are specifically Crucible based. Arc Supers, Solar Supers, Arc Supers, Void, Dawnblade, Materials, Stormcaller. Well, let's check out the variety. I'm not gonna bother really. Maybe we'll just complete that bounty with Void Grenades. Then after that we'll switch to Arc, but that won't be in the afternoon. Probably if I come back in the evening we'll do it then. people are watching Destiny 2 on Twitch. Let's see. 10,000. Well, that's pretty good score, I think, considering we have many more people playing that game. The community has gone completely, and I've not had many contacts ever since I resumed in my Twitch streams here. There's only about 2 or 3 who said hello, and that's very interesting, I'd say. What really is visible to me as a pro broadcaster, unless you have the major support from either Twitch or any other company, making sure that the algorithms are picking up your broadcast and putting it literally on the very top, you are not going to have any passing traffic at all. Which means it's going to be very difficult to collect new people. And the vast majority of people who came in were on Destiny 1. Somebody else's game. Okay, so stars income the barrel. Where are the targets? Bad. That was bait. Probably have matches in here before I have a because my break is at 5 o'clock. Mods collected. His team looks like rather with Scream Explosion. But it was that invader. Nothing to do in that. So both seemed slow in collecting teams. Maybe for yesterday. It was a good mistake, really.
Bank those almost time. Prime, fill that back. Incoming at command.
Where am I? Taken back. I need to hurry up with that. Let's see how this works. Time he was to hit path, I would be dead.
Invaders off the field.
Yeah, right. Yeah, lost the match, but I actually joined, I wouldn't say halfway through, but definitely within the first quarter. So there you go. It says nil deposited. I did deposit mines. Due to the lag, evidently, the deposit mines didn't register, and that's ridiculous. It should have done. What? What's this? I was brought basically. I don't want to waste my words. Matchmaking. Poor. Poor. Yeah, I could see it's easier to use your grenades here. Strikes, where's the crucible? Come on. Gambit, I should say. Combatants. Okay. So I should be able to get that in about 2 matches. Come on, hurry up. It's 2 out of 8 because I need to discontinue at 5 o'clock. Need to make sure that I watch our daily press conference to make sure I'm fully updated. I'm very, very curious to hear what they will say about that dreadful Kawasaki syndrome style illness that emerged amongst children during the last week. And it's a devastating development if that indeed is the case. We do not want to see children as young as 2 or 3. So that would be children under the age of 5 ending up in emergency rooms or intensive care. We want this virus to be utterly obliterated and destroyed. It's terrible, isn't it? On one hand, we are getting the pandemic under control and we have some good results, and now we have another development attacking us. Well, people shouldn't forget the nature is something that we'll always have difficulties in fighting against, be it through natural disasters, pandemics, or anything else. Humanity needs to become aware of the fact that if we are destroying our air, there is going to be no humanity. We'll all die. We'll die out as a species. So hopefully after this dreadful pandemic, there will be some reasonable, wise people deciding on how the industry should actually work. Believe you me, in my local area, it's for the first time in 200 years that we have this quality air. So like literally since the times before the Industrial Revolution, my local area had not had this degree of clean air. And it's astonishing because if you were to go to the nature reserve at night, you'd be able to hear the nature breathing. And I've not heard that ever. Certainly not to this degree. So that is really quite something. It's taking forever, come on. And I'll probably slot it into somebody else's match, yet again. Yeah, you will see, we are going to be slotted into somebody else's match. So, matchmaking doesn't seem to work too well in here. The same way as it didn't work in the Crucible yesterday. I guess as the volume of participants increases and there are very few people providing the maintenance, then we are facing these liabilities, and that's dreadful. But you know what? I'm really hungry. I didn't have a major dinner yesterday, and I think I can feel that. So I'll have to make myself something nice today. Eating rice and vegetables with some cold potato salad for 41 days. Not having my usual dinners. Mind you, vegetables, rice is something I eat every day. Case. But not in this kind of food which has been delivered at the moment. Because I don't want to be spending any time in our local Tesco's, you know. Go there and quickly do shopping for the whole week, less than 10 minutes. And, 5 minutes and I'm done. Don't want to spend any time in a place where there are groups of people, or, you know, people all together. For the obvious reason. Kel's grave. What's happening in here now? Ah, starting from the beginning.
All right, all right, all right. Let's see what
Indeed, alright it is.
Bring a sword. Be brave, be notorious. Think you could eat a hive knight? Those are the questions you ask yourself. You ready for transplant?
We have enough time just for one game in here.
And drop those moats in the bank. How's at the pit?
Come in now.
Get up.
Guess we
Styles at the
Pause.
connect.
let's see. Oh, yeah. What's that? Acolyte. Well, that's definitely good.
Hostile, the slums.
Big.
Your ally. High value to break. Cut him. High value got away. Vader's back. Who kills under
And that will be the end of Gen for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed all the activities in will end here now and in Gambit. Very brief.
Income at the canal. Portals ready. Say hello.
Wow. Yeah. Chance to up.
Still no primeval. Fill the bank. Your allies invading. But they manage. Hostiles at the pit. Only can get that primeval.
So where?
10 seconds. Do it. Front popping up. Good. Go take them out. You're evading. You're in the. Envoy's dead. Kill the primeval. Order. You've lost the lead. Burn that primeval down.
Oh, go away.
Fight's over. The team killed them.
Well, the opposing team defeated Primeval. Alright, so yeah, 24%, not too bad. Alright, so thanks very much for watching. Thanks for being here with us in the afternoon.
Opposing team,
And
that's the way to do it.
wait a minute.
Your team
Get
could
out
do
of
better.
here.
Hold on to your ghosts.
Yeah.
Back to action. Kill something big and bank those moats.
Thanks very much for watching. This is the end of my broadcast for this afternoon. We had lots of fun in the Crucible here in Gambit. Lots of good activities, plenty of scores, a lot of fierce action, and we've come to the end, so thank you. And thank you for being here with us, for supporting my channel, also enjoying Destiny 2 and all that is given to us through Guardian Games. We'll be back at some point tonight, so join us again if you can, where we are going to be continuing with I think Gambit first of all, and then maybe some activities in various destinations. On that note, I wish you all a very, very good afternoon.